Welcome back to my channel for yet another video. I did promise myself and my subscribers that I was going to try my best to be more consistent this year. So here's another video for you guys. Today's video is long overdue, guys. The girls been asking me for going on 2 years about this, and I just publicly via Instagram made an announcement that it is in fact true that I did get a breast augmentation. So I'm gonna be answering all the questions that you guys asked me through Instagram when I first posted it on my story, and I'm just gonna talk about my overall experience. Just give the girls some insight. For those who have been on the edge or don't even know where to start, I'm gonna talk about my experience, how it's been, and I'm not really too tech savvy yet, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to include like any pictures or anything like that. If not, I'll share some on Instagram, so that way if you watch this video, head over to my Instagram and you'll have something to refer to. Maybe I'll create like a highlight or something on my page. I'm not sure yet, but I'm definitely going to provide some visual content for you guys to see, like a before and after. So yeah, I'm gonna just throw a little makeup on. Don't eat me up in the comments because your girl is not a makeup artist, but I'm gonna do a little something just so I can feel, you know, put together. So this is going to be like get ready with me while I'm talking about my experience with surgery and answering the questions that you ladies had. I feel like I need y'all to share some skincare routine stuff with me because I don't understand. I feel like I'm just ready to get a chemical peel at this point. Like the discoloration. I mean, my skin is not terrible, but obviously you can see that. Oh, excuse my nose. But obviously you can see that there's some type of discoloration going on. So share some tips with me down below about where I can get some A1 products for combination skin. So I always start off by moisturizing my skin. Who would have thought I would have been on here? I'm not gonna lie, I don't really be knowing how to do like a full nice, super nice face or a beat face or whatever, but I do enough where it's like I get the coverage that I'm looking for. And I don't know, I'm not really too big on too much makeup, so I do what I like to do for myself. Even though I'm really not that good, I have grown within the last few months of like practicing, so I feel like now it's good enough to the point where I could wear it outside. Because before I would just, you know, I would just literally do my face and then wash it off because it was a hot mess. But that's just some moisturizer from, I think it's called Drunk Elephant. I love their products. Primer, hydro primer. And I have combination skin, so my T-zone area gets really, really oily after a while. So I use two different types of primer. I'm going to go in with a matte poreless primer on my T-zone area. So yeah. All right, so I'm supposed to, this is not a makeup tutorial, so I don't know why I'm talking about makeup so much, but bear with me. So I got surgery May of 2021, I believe. I don't think it was 2020. It had to be 21. But I got my breast done May of 2021, and I went to Delaware to get my procedure done. I'm sure a lot of people don't know, but I'm originally from Delaware. I was born at Christiana Care. So I decided to go along and get my procedure done at Christiana Care, cosmetic surgery. Like it wasn't like a plastic surgery facility, which is what I wanted to stray away from. And the doctor that I chose specifically was like an award-winning doctor for plastic surgery, of course, but she specialized in breast surgery for women that might have needed some type of reconstruction, maybe after breast cancer or things of that nature. So I was really excited to go with her. So yeah, I went May 2021 to Delaware. My doctor name, I'm drawing a blank right now, but I went with her because her credentials were there. Of course, she was board certified and she was very informative. So I think I did probably like 2 consultations prior to surgery. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't really do too much research on the ins and outs of surgery like I should have, but I just trusted her. So all the questions that I did have and brought to her attention, she even was, experienced enough to provide me with like a professional suggestion. Like, I think you should do this type of implant versus this because, and here is why. And I think that for me, sold me because a lot of times people could just go with the flow, listen to what you have to say, answer your questions. But the fact that she was able to provide some sort of input, I think that sold me on moving forward with the whole process. When I went in, I thought that I had to tell her like a bra size that I aspired to go to or whatever the case may be. But we actually talked more so about like implants, implant size, the type of implant. So I did go with the Mentor implants. And I feel like I chose Mentor because I was going for more of a realistic natural look. And I feel like a lot of times when the girls have silicone, they stay really stiff and like super perky the entire time. They almost look like hard. This is my personal opinion based off of what I've seen. So I wanted something that was going to be a little softer, something I could squeeze, something that just dropped perfectly and that looked real. Like I wanted the girls to give that this was natural, So I chose to go with the Memory Gel Mentor implants, and the size I got was 400cc. I remember I had a girlfriend who got her breasts done a few months before me, and she loved hers. She loved them. And she said that if she could go again, she would get a larger size. So originally, after my consultation, I had decided on going with the 350 cc's. So typically, when you go to the consultation, they'll give you the compression bra and the 2 implants so that you can put the implants on and get a feel for the size of it with your body shape and all that other stuff. So I did that and I felt like 350 was suitable. But I also know that breast surgery is really reliant on how much breast tissue you already have existing. So with breast tissue, just like any other tissue that we have in our body, when we lose weight or gain weight, the size increases and decreases. So I wanted to have enough wiggle room that if I was to lose weight, which was the size I was at that time, my boobs didn't look super small because I wanted to have cleavage. I think that was my biggest goal overall, was just having cleavage when I wore like certain shirts and certain dresses. So the day before surgery, I remember I called the office and I'm like, can I get 400cc? Because one thing about me, whenever I make a decision about something, I want to be able to live with the decision. I don't want to be the person that says, oh, I wish I would have, or I should have. Like, no. I'm going to just, if I have any second doubts or second questions about anything that I'm doing, I'm just going to go with whatever my initial whatever is. So yeah, I said I was gonna go with 350, but I felt like internally I really wanted 400. So I called the day before surgery and I was in luck. They had 400cc in the office, which was rare. The lady told me, because implants are ordered according to procedure. So when you pay for surgery, and we'll talk about that later on, you pay for everything separately. So you pay for the surgical room, you pay for the anesthesia, you pay for your implants, and then you pay for your doctor's like labor costs essentially. So once I gave them the deposit, which is when I'm assuming they ordered the implant. So I'm happy that they had an extra pair of 400s sitting around. So maybe somebody canceled their original surgery date and pushed it back to another time, or whatever the case may have been. I just know I lucked up on the size that I wanted. And I'm super happy for that. Obviously, I don't know how to multitask, so I'm gonna jump in and out probably and talk about the whole surgery thing. I just want to add this. One thing that I have found to be really successful in the process of learning how to do my own makeup is going a shade lighter for the foundation, because I like a bright under eye. So I feel like when you blend the concealer in with the foundation, it like balances out to be the perfect shade. But if y'all can see the first video or first half of the video compared to now, my skin tone is like definitely darker. And it's daytime, so I'm really not going in with too much product. I don't know, something about seeing this part makes me excited. But yeah, okay, so let's get into pain tolerance. Let's talk about procedure before we get to pain tolerance. So the procedure itself was, I think, maybe like 3 hours long, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me. I arrived that morning maybe around 10, and I think I was done by like 4 o'clock, and that includes like me changing, my pre-op like session with my surgeon before I went into surgery, the wait-in, the taking a test just to make sure that I'm able to go into surgery that day and all that other stuff. So I want to say from 10 to 4 I was like finished. It really wasn't that long. I don't remember. But oh, I forgot my nose. Y'all distracted me. But yeah. So procedure really wasn't that long. All I really remember was her saying, okay, now you're gonna feel something cool running through your veins. Do you feel that now? And I was like, yeah, I do. And that's it. And then I remember waking up crying, because anesthesia always makes me emotional. But I remember waking up crying, and she was like, surgery went successful, how do you feel, and all the other stuff. And she was like, I'll see you in another, I think it was 2 weeks or whatever the case may be, for a post-op appointment. So yeah, that was that. The pain tolerance, honestly, I want to say really wasn't that bad, because if I had to do it again, I would. Absolutely. 100%. I would do it again. But for me, I think the most annoyingness, if that's even a word, part was, the most annoying part had to be sleep. Sleeping, sitting up was literally the worst, y'all. I would not suggest that part. I had to sleep with so many pillows to prop myself up, because you can't lay flat down for like the first week or two, or until whenever you feel comfortable, honestly, flat down. And not being able to wash my back, so I had to get a lot of assistance when it was time for me to shower, because I couldn't really stretch behind me or down on my lower half of my body. I could literally just keep my arms like within the radius or the length of where my arms could naturally go without extending my my arms. So that was pretty annoying. But for the most part, I don't want to say it was pain throughout the whole process of healing and recovery. It literally was just pressure. Like, you feel like your titties just don't belong on your body. Like, it feels like, I don't know what to make the correlation. I don't even know. It just feels pressure. Like, it feels like somebody done forced some implants in your chest plate. That's what it feels like. And for the most part, like I said, if I had to do it again, I absolutely would do it again. However, that was very annoying. I know I'm jumping all around, but that's because I didn't write anything or whatever the case may be. But I did choose the Mentor implants compared to the silicone implants, because I wanted a more realistic look. But not only that, silicone implants are cheaper. They both have their pros and cons. Mentor implants are more expensive, and when you think about your body rejecting a foreign object, which is the chances for anyone who goes into any type of plastic surgery procedure, saline implants is basically salt water. We know what saline is. So the chances of those implants popping and my body rejecting it are kind of slimmer compared to having a gel-like substance in your body and your implants popping and your body rejecting it, if that makes sense. So we already have a high level of sodium within our body. So it's not really necessarily considered a foreign object compared to this gel-like substance. So that's definitely a pro and a con option to weigh. But also, as far as pricing goes, I think the Mentor implants were like an extra $2,000 compared to the saline implants. So for me, I'm real big on pricing strategies and stuff like that. I just feel like things that are more expensive have more value, if that makes sense. I'm one of those type of people. So I felt like it was kind of best for me to choose to go with the higher end because it was more expensive for a reason. And not only that, the longevity of the implants increased based off of the pricing as well. So if I'm not mistaken, please bear with me. If I'm not mistaken, the life term saline implant, I think you had to get those, like that procedure redone within 5 years. Every 5 years, you're supposed to go back and get the implants replaced, versus the Mentor implants, I think it was 10 years. So I think every 10 or 20 years or something like that. 10 or yes, it had to be 10. Every 10 years, you're supposed to go back and get your Mentor implants removed. So removed and replaced, or whatever the case may be, however you see fit. Me right now at 25, I'm getting mine replaced, okay? As far as prescriptions go, I was prescribed Percocet 5s. I had one more pill of Oxy to take, and I really wasn't too fond of taking the whole perk, so I end up just getting Tylenol. I forget, Tylenol 3s or something like that, and baby, that did the job, okay? That did what it needed to do. As far as pain level, if I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a 5. Because like I said, it wasn't necessarily pain, it was more so pressure. But of course you do feel pain your first day being out. I did sleep and stay in for a month. I took off a month of work for this procedure, and recovery time, all in all, I would say be prepared to stay on bed rest for at least a week, 2 weeks tops, meaning you won't be able to drive yourself because you do in fact need your arm mobility to drive. So make plans for that. So for the most part, I feel like I covered everything so far. Surgery was probably like a total of $7,000. I just had 2 friends the other day went to go get the same exact procedure done at the same facility, and apparently my doctor is booked out for months. So I guess she's like a hot commodity now. I'm not sure who else has gone to her. I am terrible at multitasking. Let me finish this up. Yeah, I paid a total of $7,000 on my business Amex card so that I can get those reward points or whatever the case may be, which gave me what the billing cycle was like, what, 30 days to pay that credit card off, so that I could, and then I end up using those credits and taking a trip to Belize. But anyways, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the phases. So I want to say probably like a month after surgery is when like the real healing process happens. My breasts did drop at two different times, meaning one implant, like when I first got my boobs done, my implants were like sitting up here, like literally sitting up here. So one implant was settled before the other, meaning I had one up here and one that was like a little bit lower. Of course, it wasn't noticeable once I put my clothes on, but baby, it was noticeable. But it wasn't a deal breaker for me. I was just happy that I had cleavage once I started getting dressed. So that was exciting for me. But honestly, I want to say I didn't really start falling in love. I loved them the day I got out of surgery, honestly, so I'm lying. But falling in love with them, it wasn't until like around the 6-month mark that I was like, oh yeah, we live, baby. Like once they dropped, and like I never wore a bra before because I didn't really have any breasts. I was probably like a A. Now I think I'm like a 34C or something like that. I don't know. I don't really wear bras. I still wear the same sports bras and compression bras that my doctors suggested for me to wear coming out of surgery. But it's just something about the way they sit and don't hang without a bra that I love so much. And then when I do put a bra on, it's something it's something, I'm stuttering. It's something about the way that they just like sit up perky and just like the cleavage is there. And it's just like, I can't believe I went my whole life without this. But honestly, overall, 10 out of 10. Like I said, if I had to do it again, when I have to do it again, I am. And I would suggest anybody who's on the edge or still contemplating whether the surgery is a good fit for them or not, go ahead and do it, okay? Because this literally is one of my most favorable tweaks about myself besides my eyebrows. I got my eyebrows micro shaded. I love them so much because they look like this, how they are. I'm gonna just go in and clean them up a little bit with the pencil, but for the most part, waking up with eyebrows, wow. Because I didn't have eyebrows before. Like I didn't have any ends, so my eyebrows literally was like real short, real light. So I say do whatever you want to do. Do what makes you feel good. I don't care. Just do it. Like, do whatever it is you want to do. Do it. Don't care about what nobody has to say. If it's going to make you feel good, then do it. But I'm not sure if I answer everyone's questions in totality. Or maybe you might stumble across this video and have even more questions or a specific question. Comment the questions down below. I give you my word that I will answer all the questions pertaining to this topic. And if you want more insight, go to my Instagram. I'm going to create a highlight reel, maybe, I'm not sure, or do a before and after picture, just highlighting what my chest looked like before versus after my $7,000 investment. And I'm trying to be more consistent, but help me help you by helping me get to 1,000 subscribers, because that's when it counts the most. But anyways, until I get to 1,000 subscribers, I will be pushing out videos. My goal is to create these videos at least on a weekly basis and then increase to at least 2 videos a week. That's my goal for YouTube. Help me, hold me accountable, drop me some topic suggestions, what y'all want to see from me, and all the other good stuff. But until the next video, like I said, like, comment, and subscribe.